За сайн байцгаана уу? Бүгдэнд нь өдрийн мэнд хүргэе. За вебинарын тухайд гэвэл манай вебинар маань рекорд хийж явагдах байгаа. Тэгээд вебинарын дараа таны бүртгэлтэй имэйл хаягаар вебинарын бичлэг маань очих байгаа. За бүтэн сешны одоо вебинарын туршилт таны микрофон бол хаалттай байх болно. За тэгээ ямар нэгэн асуулт байгаа бол Q&A section-с одоо энэ Q&A гэсэн хэсгээр би пост хийгээд өгсөн байгаа. Эндээс та асуух асуултаа бичээж явуулах боломжтой байгаа. За манай компанийн хувьд бол ерөнхийдөө Progress Systems нь кибер аюулгүй байдлын бүтээгдэхүүнийг Монголын зах зээл албан ёсны эрхтэйг нийлүүлдэг. IT distributor компани гэдгийг бол та бүхэн сайн мэдж байгаа байх. За бид ерөнхийдөө байгууллагын дижитал шилжилт, мэдээллийн аюулгүй байдлыг хангах цогц шийдлүүдийг санал болгодог. За үүний хүрээнд өнөөдөр Tungsten Automation Vendor-ийн Tungsten Power PDF болон Tungsten Total Agility гэдэг шийдлийг танилцуулахаар уг вебинарыг зохион байгуулж байна. За өнөөдрийн спикерүүдийн хувьд бол ерөнхийдөө илтгэл авах хүмүүс нь Fiona болон Leon гэх Tungsten Automation-ы одоо channel болон партнер хариуцсан Аз намх төлөм бүсийн захирал мөн solution consultant хоёр оролцож байгаа. За өнөөдрийн вебинарын яг агуулга маань юу байх вэ гэхээр эхний хэсэгт бол Tungsten Automation-ыг бол танилцуулах хэсэг. Тэгээд яг үндсэн хэсэгтэр бол бид нар Tungsten-ы Power PDF болон Total Agility шийдэлтэй танилцах хэсэг явж байгаа. Тэгээд вебинарын төгсгөл асуулт хариултын нэг 5-15 минутын хэсэг байгаа. So we are ready to introduce our next speaker. Fiona, do you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's very good. So let me share my screen.
Okay.
Yeah. So thank you so much, everyone, for your time. So let's, as they put up, maybe I will just do a very quick introduction of myself. Yeah, I've been with Tungsten for about 5 years this year. Yeah, so basically, I'm taking care of the commercial sales for Asia, and really glad to be able to share with you on Tungsten Automation whole suite of solutions today. So thank you so much. Okay, you can see my screen all right? Just the one slide, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So right now, for most of you, if you actually do not know, Tungsten Automation, we actually used to be called Kofax, right? In the business for about 41 years this year. Yeah. So we started out actually from capture, and then through a lot of company acquisitions, it became the whole suite of solutions right now that you know as Tungsten Automation. Okay. So in terms of our global customers, very stable of more than 25,000 global customers around the world. Very high renewal rate at 95%. That means our customers actually stay with us. And typically we are very strong with banking and insurance companies. As you can see, 8 of the top 10 global banks are using at least one of our solution, as well as 7 of the top 10 global insurers as well. And on top of banking and finance, you'll be able to see we are also strong in logistics, pharmaceutical, as well as hospitality, like Marriott Group. All right. So yeah. Okay. So in terms of really our total platform, right? The whole target industries that we have been very relevant for so far, as you can see, banking and finance. On top of that, manufacturing, retail and healthcare as well, and high-tech logistics and government. This is because in these industries, there are still very high volume of documents, and there's a lot of verification that is still required for the workflow processes in these industries. So that is where our solutions are able to achieve the outcomes that they want. Yeah. So how do we do that? It's really through our very comprehensive suite of solutions. Like for example, we have the very basic Power PDF as well as the e-signature solution that we have. Today, Leon later will elaborate more on this. So we are actually a very strong competitor to Adobe. Yeah, in terms of cost savings without compromising on the feature set. All right. So we also have another pillar which is called the print and workplace automation. This part here will be more of the print management solution that we have. We do support on-premise as well as cloud installation. Yeah, and we have very dedicated solutions on invoice automation as well. Yeah, and on another pillar will be the document and workflow automation, which is the AI powered OCR together with workflow process and RPA capabilities. We will also elaborate a bit more on this solution today. Yeah, and definitely is does not only have one solution to resolve most of our customers challenges. Yeah, so that's why it's really a whole solution called the intelligent document processing. Yeah, that we actually seek out to resolve most of our customers challenges. Okay, so the company we have been investing very consistently to make our solutions as AI powered and AI ready as much as possible. So this year, you will see that there will be an introduction on AI agents as well. Yeah, so do stay tuned. Yeah, and in terms of our ready connectors, we have ready connectors to SAP, Oracle, Salesforce. Yeah, and because it's a very flexible platform, so indeed you can actually integrate to almost any of the systems that you are looking into. So feel free to let us know what are your environment like, and then we can seek to have a fit as much as possible. In terms of our deployment options, we do have support on-premise, subscription in terms of SaaS, private cloud, as well as public cloud. And we also can support like a hybrid arrangement as well. So really is what you want to achieve, and then we will actually design the solution out for you. Okay, so without further ado, let me pass it on to Leon to elaborate more on the solution features, and then we can have a more detailed discussion on a later note. So over to you, Leon.
Sure. Okay. Thank you, Fiona, for the quick introduction. Very comprehensive, and I feel very proud to be a part of Tungsten Automation, especially after your introduction. So let me just briefly turn on my video. I'm not in the best place that has ultra fast internet today, so really I'm just turning on my video to show my face, so you can actually put a voice to a face to know who I am. So my name is Leon. I'm the lead of sales engineer here based in Singapore. So I look after all the solution consultants or sales engineers, however you call us, for basically all of us based out of Asia. So today I'm very flattered and honored to introduce our product to you. So I will start with the Power PDF product, then I'll move on to a more advanced enterprise software called Total Agility. Right. So without further ado, let me start sharing my screen. And I will also turn off my video feed. By now, you're probably already sick and tired of my face. So let me turn off this video feed, start the PowerPoint slide, and also start sharing my screen. So there we go. Can someone give me a thumb up if you can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, lovely. Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Power PDF software, and this is actually our very powerful tool to help us, intelligently, automate and accelerate our office environment. Right. So it is our Power PDF software. But before I dive into the solution, right? So let's quickly talk about what is the common challenge. Right. So one of the biggest challenge we see when we are talking to our customer nowadays is too many fragmented tools. For example, you use a different tool to create PDF files. Then you use something else to edit PDF files, and you probably use something else to share and signing a PDF files or any electronic document in that sense. Right. So if you think about that, we have so many tools scattered around different parts in the organization, and all of that add up together will really drive up the cost as well as creating compliance pressure because you have so many to manage. Right? So now we understand what is our common challenge in office environment. What is our solution? How about a single tool that gives you everything you need around handling digital documents? And that is exactly what we are offering with our Tungsten Power PDF software. It is a PDF editor, but it has so much more than just a PDF editor. It is really built for a business environment. You can do all the basic convert and create and more advanced editing and combining, and you can actually go all the way up to digital signing and collaboratively, reviewing or working on a PDF file. So we really have the feature to look after every tier of the requirement within a given organization. Now, what are the main reasons to choose Tungsten Power PDF as our main PDF editor, right? First of all, we have an intuitive GUI. We have an intuitive GUI interface. So our interface design is really based out of the Microsoft design principle. So if you are already familiar with Microsoft products, you can very quickly pick up our software with no problem. We also have attractive pricing. That's something Fiona mentioned earlier. So if you are interested in this, definitely reach out to her via Progress, and we are always here to help. We also offer ISO standard compliance. So compliance and security is always our number one target. So that not only applies to Power PDF, it also applies to all the other products under our product umbrella. We're also offering versatile license model, so whatever you need, we'll work with you to give you, what works for you the best. Powerful OCR engine, so if you have scanned documents or information capture on a cell phone, we can help you to turn that into text searchable PDF. Fuzzy search, you don't actually have to search for something exact. You can do something like search for all the email address in the PDF document, or search for all the phone numbers in this particular format. We will be able to find that information. You don't have to search for something that you only know exactly. Automated PDF flows, we can actually create automatic sequencers or automatic sequence of actions to help us very quickly complete certain actions. Highly security standard, network and offline installation, so we are very flexible in terms of how we deploy our solution. And last but not the least, we can create accessible PDF files with industry compliant standard. So 10, 20, 30, even 40, 50 years later, your PDF created today can still be opened safely with no compromise. Right, so those are the main features we create, and each one of them is in high demand in of modern organization where compliance, efficiency, and the cost effectiveness is our top priority. And we are being awarded with many recognition by industry analysts. So we are proven by third party to be the industry leader in this particular section. Now, we recognize Adobe Acrobat is a very strong competitor in the market, and it is a very strong product suite. But how do we compare to Adobe Acrobat, right? We have simplified licensing. So compared to complex licensing structure, we actually have a much simplified version to make things a lot easier. That does not only mean we have things are easier to deal with. That actually in long term will have a reduced admin cost on long term use of the software. We have version clarity and visual comparison. So all those features are all offered by part of our solution. Maximize the value, minimum cost, and also our solution is easy to learn, easy to use, and easy to master. Now, I talked enough about what we can do, how we are really good with everything. I just want to give you a very quick look on what the Power PDF interface look like. So what you're seeing on the screen now is a screenshot of our Power PDF software, but you probably noticed two things, right? So one thing is the entire interface is actually based in a browser, so we can be fully integrated in a browser environment. So if your organization is looking for a thin client deployment without having to push out an actual binary to be installed on each single computer, we can accommodate that. That's a very powerful feature because everyone is actually moving to a browser-based model nowadays. Now, the second thing is you can see the AI chat window on the right-hand side of the screen. So once you have opened a PDF, and be it a one-pager invoice or maybe a 150-page and a contract, it doesn't matter. If you need to quickly understand the content of this document, fully utilize the Copilot feature incorporated into our Power PDF software, you can actually start asking questions about this document. For example, what is the name of the person mentioned in this contract, and what is the tenure of the contract, and what is the dollar value, or anything smart questions related to this document, you can actually ask and get questions very quickly without having to read through the entire document. So those are the very powerful features. But that's not all. Nowadays, people work with each other, right? We always collaborate with each other. So we also have very powerful integration and collaboration feature. So what you see on the screen now is how Power PDF can integrate with Microsoft Teams. You can actually share a PDF via Teams chat, and the other person can open up the same PDF document by simply click on that shared link, and now two of you can collaboratively working on the same live version of that PDF. Add comments, insert new content or deleting content, and the change will be synced to the other party in real time. So nowadays it's all about collaboration, efficiency. Instead of changing files, exchanging files via email, this is a much better way of getting work done quickly. Now, yes, and that is the Microsoft Teams integration. Sorry, I forgot to click on the animation. Now, a very quick summary. We recognize there's a main challenge. The challenge is being fragmented tools, which leads to high cost, compliance pressure, and ultimately lead into a workflow chaos. What is our solution? Our solution is to introduce a cloud-based PDF and electronic signature products with our AI capabilities built in, and so to help you consolidate and automate most of your processes. And the value, of course, is compliant and security document productivity at a fraction of the cost. Right. So that is a very quick introduction of our Tungsten Power PDF software. If you are interested, or if you have the needs of such a tool, please reach out to us, and we are more than happy to give you a more in-depth demonstration of the actual feature of the software itself. Right. So I will very quickly say a thank you because I do have another part of the product to introduce. But for now, thank you very much for going through the Power PDF part of the portion with me. Let me very quickly stop sharing my screen, and I will switch to the other Power PDF deck, and I will very quickly go through that with you. Okay, so now I have the other deck ready on my screen. I'm just waiting for my Teams window to appear, which is not doing it. So let me click on it and share my screen and switch back. Okay, great. So I assume my screen sharing is working and we can see this product platform overview. Can someone kindly confirm that for me, please?
Yes, it's working.
Okay, lovely. Thank you so much. Okay, so once again, we talked about our Power PDF software. So that is the most right-hand pillar in our product portfolio, and we also have 3 other main pillars as Fiona introduced earlier. So what I'm going to do next is I will not take you through this particular slide all over again, but really what I'm going to focus next is this document workflow and automation pillar of our product. Right. So first of all, let's have a look what this pillar what are the common business cases this particular platform can solve. So now different from Power PDF. Power PDF is a very powerful tool, and it is a desktop application aimed for users to solve their day-to-day challenges. Now, what we are looking at now being the total agility automation platform. So we're actually taking one step higher. Now we are looking at enterprise level, business challenges. So things like invoice processing, bank statement processing, monthly and quarterly reporting, digital content consolidation, loan processing, and I'm just reading out a few of them randomly. So now you are seeing we are looking at end-to-end enterprise processes that we can automate and accelerate. So over here, what we are doing is we can actually accelerate the flow of the information between different parts of the process and really automate a lot of the stuff to help our human operator save their time so they can actually focus on more value or higher value tasks. Right? So at a very high level, this is the kind of business use cases we can try to automate. So enough said on that. Let me dive into the hyper automation platform and go a little bit deeper to show you how the technology works and even some demo videos. This part of my presentation will generally be around about 25 to 30 minutes, and after that, we will hand it over, to the host of the meeting, and potentially we can open up the floor for Q&A. So that's my plan for the next part. Now, Tungsten hyper automation platform. Why do we call it a hyper automation platform? Right? It's a very fancy name. The reason is we have a very strong core value. Now, the core value in a single sentence is to transform unstructured information to structured format, and using that structured information to initiate AI-based workflows. So on this particular slide, what we see is we ingest documents, and when I say document, I'm really using that word loosely. A document can be a paper document, can be a PDF, of course, but it can be so much more, right? It can be an email as well. It could even be a chat history between the user and your customer service department. It can be a web form, or it can be a JSON data stream, or even a picture captured on a mobile phone. So now you can see we're really losing the word document very loosely. But let's say all of those things are documents, and what we can do is to ingest all of those documents into our workflow automation platform, and we use different technologies combined together to transform that unstructured information to structured format, and we can use those structured information to do many different things. For example, task automation, workflow management, or present those structured information to a human to help a human to make a more conscious decision quickly and easily. Right? So really, that's our core value. We really help users to consolidate information, create that insight, and to make things much better and easier and faster as well. So that's why we call it a hyper automation platform. We don't just do information extraction. We do that really well, but we can do so much more. The next screen is a much better view of what I just talked about. So within our platform, we have three parts that's all working together to provide our end-to-end solution. The first one is the intelligent document processing. So this is how we can ingest documents in any format, intelligently lift that information from that document and use that information for downstream processing. A very typical example is every invoice, they look different. But we know we are looking for invoice date, supplier number, invoice total, etc., from that document. So it doesn't matter what the invoice look like, we can always find that information. But take it one step further, right? This is something 5 years ago we couldn't actually do. Nobody could do it. That is, for example, if you ingest a loan document or a contract and you say, tell me what are the high-risk clause for this particular contract, from my standing point, and AI will actually read through that document and summarize that information, list all the high-risk clause for you. So all those kind of intelligent with the AI-assisted capability are built in as part of our intelligent document processing nowadays. So it is not only looking for information, but it's also deriving that insight information for us to make a decisions in a more conscious manner. So that's that. But we also have the process orchestration. So process orchestration is once we have lifted or summarized the key information from the documents we have, how do we utilize that information to automate the workflows to help our people make a more conscious decision? So that's where the workflow or process orchestration portion comes in. And of course, we have artificial intelligence built on top of everything to make things better and faster. Now, I know I talked about our capabilities a lot, right? We can do IDP, being intelligent document processing. We can do low-code process orchestration, and we also have AI. It sounds like we're a jack of all trades, and yes, we are. We can really do a lot of things, but we are not a master of none. We actually do everything really well. So we have been awarded as leader in each one of those three sections by accountable industry analysts. So we have the proof to say whichever part of the system you go with us, either one part of the features, or if you want to have an end-to-end solution using all of our features, you are in the best hands on the market who can offer you a very comprehensive solution. Okay, so enough said. I think, again, I talked too much about the marketing stuff and introducing a lot of the high-level stuff. Let's have a look how our solution actually works. So today I'm going to use the hiring process as an example. Why do I do that? I'm sure everyone have been through the process of looking for a job. And the hiring process is a highly streamlined process. There are many, many different steps we have to go through, but they all have to happen after each other. So this is what I feel to be a very typical business workflow, and I'm going to automate this process using our technology. But I'm just conscious of time, so I'm not going to go through every single step in this flowchart. I picked a few of these steps. Those are the red ones I highlighted on the screen. So it's really starting from the candidate applying a job by submitting their CV, and I'm going to use our system to lift information or automatically extract the key information from the CV documents. And then I'm going to use AI to summarize the information from the CV document and help our HR consultant to make a conscious decision. So that's a high-level overview of the demo today. Now, without further ado, let me dive into this, right? This is only a 2.5 minutes demo video, very short, but I will take some pause just to, through the demo to explain things a little bit better. So today I'm going to manually import a few CV documents. Usually in a production environment, and it can be an email inbox monitoring, or it can be a folder monitoring, or it can be a web service call, right? But the idea is we need to get the documents in, and we just did, and we can see each CV document look different. So once we have ingested the document into our system, I'm gonna take a pause over here. The system will very quickly extract all that information from the document. And what I was seeing now on the screen is there is a task pending for a user to complete. So this task is called validation. There are a few things quite interesting, right? So let me just spend 10 seconds to go through this with you. We have the activity name being validation, but we can also see this task has been assigned to everyone for now, and there's a SLA indicator, which means the task needs to be completed in a certain time frame. What that means is if you have a task only intended for certain user groups, we can actually assign the different tasks to different users, so you have that segregation of duty, within your environment. With the SLA, it will start with green and it will slowly turn into orange and red. Now, due to my demo environment, it always starts with red just because I want to go through things quicker. But we can actually set up events. So when SLA turning from green to orange, or as we are going above that allocated time, we can actually trigger events as well. For example, if Leon is not doing things quick enough, the system can automatically trigger an email to Fiona and ask Fiona to tell me off and ask me to hurry up and do my things. So all of that is possible. So enough said, let's have a look at what the validation interface look like. So I just need to click on that link, and I can see this is the validation interface. At the first look, it may feel a little bit busy, but really there's only 3 parts to this screen. On the right-hand side, that's the original document I have uploaded to the system. In the middle part, this is all the information the engine automatically extracted from the CV document. And on the left-hand side, that's the document tree showing all 3 documents that we are processing. Right, so I'm just going to go through each field very, very quickly. We can see the candidate name has been found, contact information, education, skills, as well as working experience. Right, so all of those information have been found with very high accuracy. Go to the second CV, the layout looks completely different, but that's not a problem. The engine can still find that information we are looking for with very high accuracy. Last one, same thing, a different looking CV, same set of information we are extracting from the document. So this is a very typical example of we are turning this unstructured data into a structured format, right? Doesn't matter, the CV can be a PDF, can be a Word document, can be a web page. We know what we are looking for, so we are turning all that information into structured format. So now we have that information in a structured format. What do we do next, right? Usually what would happen is our HR consultant will need to look at that information, find out who is the best candidate, and reach out to that candidate to schedule an invoice. Highly manual process and highly person experience dependent. For example, if I am looking at a CV, I may think this candidate is good, but if I get someone else to look at that CV, they may have a different opinion, right? So how do we standardize that process and how do we accelerate that process? So I built the next screen to demonstrate as a concept of what we can do. So let me quickly open up that interface. And the first thing we see is the all 3 candidates are now displayed on the screen, being Kevin, Dennis, and Orion. And each one of those candidates has been given a score, being 85, 75, and 65. So from here, what I can do is every time I click on a candidate, I can see their CV, and I also can see an AI comment to explain why this particular candidate has been given a particular score. And if I go to a different person, you see that CV changes and that AI comment also change as well. So now as the HR consultant, I can see, okay, that is the reason why, Orion is only getting 65 because he, even though he has a very solid IT background, however, his lack of direct software development experience and familiarity with web frames, which are really crucial for what we're looking for this role. So all those information is already available to me without having to go through every single piece of information on his CV, right? So this is how we can help our HR consultant. We also have the original job description available under the second tab. So whenever I need to refer back to that information, it's also available. So that's all good and well, right? And we can, I'm sure a lot of you can already see the benefit of the system so far. But what if I want to take it one step further? Kevin and Dennis, they're 85 and 75 score, and I really want to make a decision of who should be the best. They are relatively close, right? So not a problem. Our entire platform is customizable, and we can build custom interfaces. So I built this custom compare interface for us to be able to compare 2 candidates. Click on that button, this window will pop up. I select Kevin and Dennis and click on this compare button. Now within seconds, we can see the AI compare result has came back, and the reason says, and the result says the most suitable candidate is still Kevin Martel, and this is the reason why Kevin Martel is the best candidate. It's a very comprehensive information, but also this is why Dennis is not the best candidate, and the reason is also listed there. So from this point on, I know I only want to talk to Kevin, not Dennis. So I go uncheck Dennis from this checklist, select only Kevin, and I click on this schedule interview button. So what can happen next is really the AI engine can look into a corporate calendar, look for available time slots, and automatically compose an email with that information, send it to Kevin, and wait for Kevin to reply an email, and we can capture Kevin's returning email and automatically schedule an interview with the HR consultant. Now, due to the time limitation, that part of the process is not shown in this video, but using our workflow capability and process orchestration capability that can be easily achieved. So putting everything together, we have demonstrated a few things, right? The first one is how we can extract information from CV documents as unstructured data source, turning them into a structured information, summarize that information to help our HR consultant to make a conscious decision quicker and faster, and also using our workflow orchestration tool to automate a lot of the manual processes to make things faster, quicker, easier for both our internal people as well as the candidate. So overall, that's a very quick demo to showing our capabilities. Then the next step is how did I actually do most of this, right? How long did it take me to come up with a POC like this? So let me just go through that in a bit more details. Okay, so I'm going to start with document data capture. So you've seen how the engine can extract the information from the CV documents. How did I configure it? What technology is it using under the hood, right? So first of all, we have many different technologies available with our platform. I'm not going to read through every single one of them, but a few cool ones I will mention. For example, generative AI, sentiment analysis, and natural language processing. Right, all those AI-based capabilities are provided by our platform as part of the standard feature. So you have all those other advanced capabilities at your disposal. Then we are a true believer of garbage in, garbage out, right? So if you have a poor quality document, so what you see now is a logistic document. We call it airway bill. So this poor airway bill has a big coffee stain on it and with highlighter, on a few places. If we use a traditional method to binarize this image, we will end up with a lot of information already lost. But with our proprietary technology, we can clean up that image really well and making sure the document is in the best quality for downstream processing. Of course, I need to raise my hand to say full disclaimer, we are not magicians, right? If the document is so bad that has gone beyond the stage of being repaired, there's very limited things we can do. However, we have this technology, and we can do image cleanup a lot better than most of the other people on the market. So your document is in the most capable hands for downstream processing. Okay, so we've seen the basic technologies within our platform. How do everything work together, right? Again, let me show you a very quick video. And this is actually the process demonstrating how did I set up CV extraction. So let me take you through this process. I'm going to give my project a name. I call it English CV extraction. Then I'm going to upload a reference document. So this is the document I will use as an example to configure the data extraction. So once I have this document uploaded, I'm going to set up some fields that I would like to extract from this document. So the first thing, I'm taking a pause over here because I just want to highlight the first piece of information I'm going to extract is the candidate name. And if you are familiar with data extraction, this piece of information is probably the most difficult piece of information to extract. First of all, there's no format. You just cannot define a format to tell the engine, this is what a person's name should look like, right? It's impossible. Second thing is there's no keyword, right? There's nothing around that name to say this is the candidate name. So 3 years ago, this piece of information would be close to impossible to automatically extract with very high level of accuracy. But nowadays, thanks to AI, what we can do is just say applicant name. Simple as that. The engine will go away and find that information for us. Right, easy as that. So I'm going to use the same method to set up a few more pieces of information. Being the applicant email, applicant phone number. See, I'm actually breaking down the contact information to multiple subfields. And for the education field, I can further refine my prompt in the description field to define, what format of the information I would like to be. Then applicant skills, then applicant work experience. So over here, I'm gonna say extract only the company name, title, and working period. I don't need to extract any more details, right? So we can actually define the format of the information I would like the AI engine to return. Now within a few seconds, we can see the engine has found all of that information for me from the document, with very high accuracy. So now within about 45 seconds, I have completed the configuration process of an extraction model for CV documents. Right, so that's how easy it is. Usually using traditional method, we'll be looking at least a couple of days to come up with a highly accurate extraction model like this. So what do I do next? Once I have my extraction model, how can I deploy this into production so I can actually start processing documents? The answer is within a few minutes, right? So now I'm going to say, I want to create a workflow, and the workflow steps will include validation, export. So I want to review the information extracted, export that information to a zip file by going to a download interface, and I do a bit of hygiene to delete all the documents after processing. So now I can publish my process. And once I've done that, you can see the engine has created this workflow for me automatically. So I don't need to do anything manually. Now this process is ready for production use. Let me start using this process to extract a few CV documents. So very similar to what you have seen before, I'm going to import a couple of CV documents, right? But just to make things a bit more interesting, I'm going to import one additional CV document. So I'm just gonna browse to a different folder. I'm going to import a Chinese CV document, right? So remember, we did all my configuration using an English reference CV document. Now let's see how well the engine can deal with Chinese CV. Spoiler alert, it will work because it is a demo video, right? So as you can probably imagine, it will work. But I will go through that process with you just to explain why the engine can actually achieve that level of accuracy. So now we can see the first thing is it's a very familiar interface as what you have seen before. The only difference is, see these text boxes, they're all of a very standard size. This is because this interface is actually fully customizable. Because I got the engine to automatically generate everything, they all look the same size, but I always have the capability of going in there and fine-tune the look and feel a little bit to make the interface work the best for the user. This interface can look different per document type. So if you have imported a CV document again, alongside with the invoice document or with any other document types, the middle part of the screen can change based on the type of document you are processing. On a CV document, we'll be looking at these fields, but maybe on the invoice, we'll be looking at a complete different set of fields. So again, this is fully customizable. But now let's come back and focus on the actual information. We can see the applicant name, applicant email address, phone number, and education skill and work experience has all been very accurately extracted. And the information is returned to us based on our requested format. Same thing for the second document. Everything has been extracted, and every time we click on a field, the engine will also take us to the location of the image to show us where that information is extracted from. So by using that feature, the user can very quickly validate all the information. The last one, we can see the Chinese CV document. The engine has no problem extracting that information. If you do read Chinese, you will see that information is correct. If you don't read Chinese, unfortunately, you will just have to take my word for it, and the information is accurate and well extracted. Right, so that's a very quick demonstration to show you within a few minutes, right? We can very quickly set up a extraction model to deal with document information extraction, as well as creating a workflow to push that entire process into production. Now, moving on, extraction technology has moved on so much, right? So we could use natural language to process documents to look for text information. What about other things, right? So now we have Tungsten with layout, which means if we are dealing with checkboxes. Now on this screenshot, you see in the background we have a document full of checkboxes, and what I'm looking for is the marketing channel. So this question over here down the bottom on the page, it says, how did you hear about us? And all I need to do is tell the engine, tell me what users select on the marketing channel section, right? With the natural language processing or natural language prompting, we can see the engine can automatically find the website checkbox is selected, and it is intelligent enough to return me the value next to the selected checkbox. I didn't have to do any additional configuration. This is super important because a lot of the time when you're processing tick boxes, right? It's very often the value next to next to the checkbox, it will change. So every time if that value changes, you will traditionally you will have to go back and then change your configuration to cater for that change. But now with AI, everything will just happen automatically. So that's where we are. Now you probably will be asking, yes, you are using AI to extract all this information. How much is it going to cost me, right? How much token am I have to budget for on an annual basis to process the number of documents that I'm processing? The short answer is you don't need to worry about that, because as part of the Tungsten license, we will include all the token usage as part of our license. So you only have one license to look at, one license to pay, so there's nothing else to worry about. Okay, data extraction, I talked about AI. Yes, AI is a very powerful locator, but you don't have to rely purely on AI. You can also use machine learning or traditional format or even template-based extraction, and we can internally do a voting automatically and select the best result to return to the user. So that's the power of AI nowadays. Now, just to take it one step further, how about handwriting recognition? Now, traditionally, it's okay. Nowadays, with AI, free flow handwriting is not a problem. As you can see, with the free flow handwriting, we can convert it to machine printed text with very high accuracy. And this does not only apply to English. We can also do Chinese handwriting recognition. We can also do Japanese handwriting recognition, and also Thai, Vietnamese. All of those languages, their character is naturally quite difficult to OCR. Now it's supported by our engine. Right. So that actually concludes my data extraction part of the introduction. Let me spend a few more minutes before I wrap up. So to quickly talk about our process orchestration. So this part is all about once we have the information, how do we deliver that information to the right people for the right action in a timely manner, right? So we have a very strong workflow capability. It is low code and no code, which means you don't actually have to know coding to be able to design a workflow. And we provide SLA management, the task assignment, and we can automatically create user interfaces, and everything is fully auditable and reportable, so that all of those features you required, both from the efficiency perspective as well as from the compliance perspective, are all supported by our platform. How does our workflow designing interface look like? This is what it looks like. We have many different boxes you drag around, and you link them together to create a workflow. Each one of those boxes can do different things. So when we click on a box, on the right hand side, we can choose the type of the action this little box will perform. In this case, it's generative AI. So as you can imagine, we have a workflow with many different nodes within that workflow, and each node can do different things. That will give us a very powerful capability to automate a lot of the processes. Our entire platform, a little bit of a technical information. If you are technical, a lot of our platform, basically everything within our TotalAgility platform can be exposed as a RESTful web service. So if your preference is to have a workflow with document processing capability completely running in the background, you can actually use our web service to retrieve information or submit information, and we can be running in the background silently if that's your preferred model. We are not here to replace any of your existing systems. So if you already have a very strong IT platform, we can work alongside with you, and we can help your existing IT landscape to automate and accelerate your existing processes. Last but not the least, we have analytics, right? So if you have automated your process and you don't know how much efficiency you have gained or where is your new bottleneck, then you will not be able to evolve further. So that's why we see reporting is super important. And we also have this Tungsten Analytics add-on, allowing us to produce very comprehensive and graphical report. So this is very similar to Microsoft Power BI. So, but many people prefer to have a single solution provider. So if your preference is to have one account manager to talk to, one support center that you can call, then Tungsten can really give you an end-to-end solution regardless of what you are looking for. Okay, so with that, I'm going to come up to this magical slide to say a very big thank you for staying with me for the past 45 minutes and listening to me to introduce our product. I really appreciate your attention, and I look forward to to talk to you about our product in much more details. So with that, can I hand it back to the meeting host to progress to the next part of the session?
Tim, would you like to, end off this seminar? Yes.
Sorry, I had some headphone issues. Thank you very much for the introduction, Leon. It is very useful, very wonderful solutions that we are presenting. And we're now about to open the Q&A session. And I think the first question that people are wondering is, does the documentation workflow solution work on our language, in Mongolian language? I think that is the very first question people are wondering.
Okay, the short answer is I believe it is supported, but let me take that question away and I will confirm back right after this meeting.
Yeah. To make it easier, does your solution support Russian? If it supports Russian, it will work in our language.
It does, yes.
Oh, it does? Okay. Okay, then it is possible, because we had same experience with some other solutions, and they used to support Russian, and we just needed to do some letter developments, some character developments, and it was working fine. So that is very good to hear.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. За өөр асуултууд байвал манай чатанда бичээд өгөөрэй. Тэгээд асуучих. Одоогоор бол юу яаж байгаа юм байна? Орос хэлийг бол дэмжиж байгаа юм байна. Тэгэхээр өө үсэг нэмээд оролцоод бол асуудалгүй ажиллах юм байна шүү. So someone else asked for how about the document management process, for example, in sale process, proposal, contract draft, approval and signing, etc. I think it will work the same.
Yes, so I think if my understanding to the question is correct, so can we support document processing workflow? So the answer is yes. We can route the document to different people to perform different actions, including document review, approval, signing. So all of that is supported. Just to be fully transparent, what we do not do is the document storage. So we are a document transactional platform. So document comes in, we will process the document, and we will export that document to the downstream system for long-term archiving. But we are not a document storage solution. So we will usually work with other solution providers on document storage requirement. For example, SharePoint. Or if you have other document storage solutions that you can provide or already exist in your organization, we will be able to work with those.
Okay. Thank you. За тодын асуусан хариулт нь бол боломжтой юм байна шүү. Document storage бол боломжгүй юм байна. Storage хийхдээ одоо өөр SharePoint ч юм уу өөр ямар нэгэн solution-ыг ашиглаж хийх боломжтой. Байгууллагад storage гэдэг газар зүйл байгаа бол тэрийг нь ашиглаад боломжтой юм байна. За өнөөдрийн вебинарын хувьд хоёр шийдэл танилцуулсан байгаа. Эхний хэсгээр болохоор Power PDF editor. Тэр нь болохоор одоо бидний байгууллагуудын төгөөмөл ашиглаж robot PDF editor-тэй дүүцгэц шийдэл байгаа. Үүний хувьд бол хамаагүй боломжийн үнэтэй гэдгээр одоо манайх илүү даваа талтай байгаа. Тэгэхээр та Acrobat PDF editor ашигладаг бол Tungsten Power PDF editor руу шилжих боломжтой байгаа. Хоёр дахь жишээл нь болохоор түрүүний харилцсан нэг document automation workflow документын процессыг сайжруулдаг, хурдлуулдаг, тодол ажлыг тэгээд ийм хоёр шийдэл өнөөдөр танилцууллаа. Өөр асуух зүйл байхгүй бол дуусчихгүй. За окей. So another question. Is Tungsten integratable with Jira and other cloud services such as AWS, Azure, etc.?
Yes, that's a very good question. It does. Depending on what kind of integration, for example, if we're talking about AWS integration, what services are we looking to integrate? But the short answer is, Tungsten Automation have a very strong capability to integrate with any RESTful or SOAP-based APIs. And if there is no standard API can be provided, we have a full .NET interface support, so we can actually create custom DLLs to basically achieve any kind of integration. So our deployment model and customization capability is very flexible. Based on that, we are confident we can integrate with any external systems, providing there is a way allowing the system to integrate.
Okay. Thank you very much. За интеграц хийх боломжтой юм байна, баярлалаа. За дараагийн next question is people are asking if the POC is available.
Sorry, the POC is what?
Is customers able to do POC?
Yes, so we usually start with a demo. So demo are a set of standard demos that is either available in form of a recording, or we actually have a lot of demo videos on our website, and that's available for people to get a look and feel of our system. Now, POC is definitely a possible way of moving forward as well, but we usually only looking at custom POC when we are at a more a deeper stage of a particular opportunity.
Okay. Okay, thank you. За демо видеонууд вебсайтн дээр бол зөндөө байгаа юм байна. Тэгэхээр видеонуудын линкүүдийг олоод явуулъя. За POC бас хийж турших боломжтой юм байна. Тэгэхээр POC хийх сонирхолтой байгаа газрууд нь манайх руу юугаа явуулцаарай, хүсэлтэд явуулцаарай. Тэгээд холбогдъё. Okay. So it's 3 o'clock right now. And I think the questions are good. So thank you very much, guys, for joining today. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time and effort. And I think we can finish the session today.
Okay, great. Thank you for your time and attention, everyone. Really appreciate it. Sorry, Fiona.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Have a good weekend ahead. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Thanks all.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye, guys. За бүгдэнд нь баярлалаа. Вебинарт орсонд баярлалаа. Өдрөө сайхан өнгөрүүлээрэй.